Whoops, I messed that one up. Greetings from Shinjuku. Hi, everybody. So it's a very hot afternoon here, and I wanted to take this time to go back over the Capsule Hotel video that I released and answer some of your questions, because a lot of you are asking me about what's it like to stay in a Capsule Hotel? How much does it cost? Can families stay there? Can people with disabilities stay there? What about the noise? Do you need a reservation? It's a lot of questions. So what I'm gonna do is introduce you to my friend, Mr. Shingo, who happens to be a veteran of Capsule Hotels because he was in the last video.
Yes, I was in the last video.
You were in the last video.
Oh
and
hello,
everybody. And you also have stayed in many Capsule Hotels in your life.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how many. 10, 20, too many.
10, 20,
10?
Hundreds.
Hundreds? Really?
That would make you an expert. No,
I
not
stopped
hundreds.
counting sometimes.
Stop counting. 20 would be toes and fingers, right? All right. So in this live stream, we're going to be asking Shingo for some of his knowledge, and I also have some questions. So we're going to start off this live stream by first asking this question: what is a Capsule Hotel? So Shingo, what is a Capsule Hotel really?
Well, it's basically a hotel where you have capsule-shaped, what you may call half room, half like bed.
Pods.
Pods, yeah, maybe pods. But it's very easy to stay. It's not like you don't have a lot of individual toilets, individual showers. You just have a bed.
Right.
A bed.
For me, a Capsule Hotel, there's lots of different flavors of Capsule Hotels that we're going to get into, but the ones that I've been introducing to you on the Only Japan channel are very much like coffins. At least that's well, I don't know. The first one that I introduced you to was like a coffin.
Okay.
The second one that we just did in the last video, and I'll put right up here a box where you can click to and take a look at that last video. That was more like a bunk bed.
Yeah, like a bungalow kind of.
Like a bungalow or a berth on a ship, you know? I kind of got the feeling. Well, you know, on the ship they sometimes have like bunk beds on the ship. Kind of gave me that kind of impression. It was a lot more comfortable, the second one than the first one, but the first one was a more authentic. I don't know. It was like more of a 1980s kind of experience. What do you think?
Yeah, more or less. It had the really classical Capsule Hotel look, and it was it's like the normal Capsule Hotel you see everywhere on TV or anywhere else. But it was a really nostalgic kind of Capsule Hotel.
Yeah.
I did like the first one better.
You did like the first one better? I liked them both. Each one has its different advantages and disadvantages. But I also have in here some of the other things we can ask. What kinds of Capsule Hotels are there, and how much do they cost? So I mean, there's different kinds of Capsule Hotels. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, this one that we featured was all male.
Yes.
That seems to be pretty much the way things have been for a long time, though.
Well, it all started with only male Capsule Hotels. We weren't really going to any of those Capsule Hotels, so it's not male only. It started with male only, so it's not something special. That's what Capsule Hotels were back then. I don't know how long ago.
So yeah, basically Capsule Hotels, they didn't sell themselves as being all male, right? It was like a Capsule Hotel was assumed to be all male.
Right.
They had one bath for all the men, and that's it. There was no female baths, no female toilets.
It wasn't so beautiful back then. I don't think so. It was
right. And it wasn't so beautiful back then. It was literally a place to crash, right? And now, and now, I think back then, how much did it cost? Before the tourist boom and everything.
The cheapest one I've been to was around 1,500 yen.
What?
That's $15 around.
Yeah, it's like $12 to $15. That's pretty cheap. Was it bad?
Oh, it was like the normal Capsule Hotel, but a bit more low class, I guess.
A little bit low class.
Low class.
Yeah, you know, different capsules have different. I wouldn't say classes, but just different. Styles. It depends on the age, I guess you would say. I don't know, because I've been to a lot of Capsule Hotels too, basically because I've missed the last train or I've been stuck someplace, and these places, Capsule Hotels, are so convenient in the fact that they're right next to stations. The Kuyakushomae Capsule Hotel that we did an episode on 3 years ago is just over there. It's on the other side. If you cross the street and then make a left in there, it's about 100 meters away from here. And as you can see in this area, it is at night the entertainment district called Kabukicho. Yeah. So these are the kind of places where you're going to find lots of capsule hotels. And the prices, they can run anywhere between, I guess, $12
To right now,
like,
the highest is around $70.
yeah, about 70.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. They're hyping up the prices around.
So it could be as high as $70 for a capsule hotel. What has caused this amazing explosion in price?
Oh gosh, tourists. Thank you to come in Japan, but okay.
Yeah, it's
not all the businessmen are happy.
not all the businessmen are happy.
They are losing places where they can stay, and actually, you might. If you go right now to one of the capsule hotels, you're gonna find some businessmen staying, skipping jobs, and staying.
Oh yeah, right. This is another really interesting thing. I didn't really know about this culture, but they would. A lot of businessmen in the afternoon would say they're going on a business trip, and instead they'll just crash at the capsule hotel and spend 3 hours sleeping and watching TV, and then they go back to the offices. And the reason why is these places don't have windows. You can't go inside. Nobody's going to go in and look for them here.
And even if you accidentally meet your colleagues, mum's the word.
Mum's the word, because you are already there too, right? So there's nothing you can do. It's a hideout. It's like a lair for office guys, right? Evil office guys that play hooky from work, which we introduced in the last video as well. Have you ever done that?
Mum's the word.
Mum's the word. Shh. If Shingo's office is watching, he's never done that. Just put a note in there. All right, awesome. So we got lots of other questions here. Are they for tourists? What do you think? Are these for tourists?
Basically, they're open to everybody.
They're open to everybody these days. Yeah, I think anybody can stay in a capsule hotel. There's no rules that say tourists only, but recently more and more capsule hotels are having quotas.
Yes.
Meaning like they'll limit it to 70% foreign tourists and 30% Japanese, because culturally, the thing with the capsule hotels is that they're always available, or they're supposed to be.
They're supposed to be. And they also have repeaters who's been going to their capsule hotels for ages.
Right.
And the capsule hotels, of course, want to cherish these people, these repeaters who's been going there. So
Right.
I guess they just always want to open some space for them. And
Right.
of course.
And they got point cards too. I've seen some of them have point cards. Yeah.
I've never seen a point card.
to keep patrons loyal.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. So if you stay for like 10 nights or 20
10 nights, you might get a discount, like a free massage or something.
Really?
I've seen point cards. There's some.
I did not know that.
Some places down in Osaka, especially, they want to keep people loyal to
Really?
the capsules. Yeah.
Wow. Huh. I gotta find one of those.
You gotta find one. I was in one in Okayama, and they asked me if I wanted to register for their point card. I'm like, yeah, I'm not from around here. I'm probably not gonna be back here for a while, but it's pretty interesting. The next questions addresses some of the ones I see right now in the comments. Is can families stay there? What about couples? And is it worth it for tourists? I mean, value-wise, and it's kind of an important question. Can couples stay there?
Basically, no. Women and men stay in different floors for
Right.
safety reasons.
Right.
That was introduced in the last.
Yeah, that was in the last video. Safety reasons. What could happen?
What can happen?
What could happen?
Okay.
Well, the thing is, with these capsule hotels, people do drink a lot.
True.
Right.
True.
People do drink a lot, and I've never seen a fight or any violence at a capsule hotel, and I've stayed at least 30 or 40 times in capsule hotels all around the country. I've never seen anything bad happen.
True.
But that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Right.
But I guess for guys, there's always that macho dude who thinks he's a stud, that everybody loves him. I don't know. I've never seen that, so I've never gotten that.
They do sometimes have different common areas for girls and guys, because a lot of the capsule hotels, they have gowns.
Right.
And some people might not like the privacy. Some girls might like the privacy. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, dude.
What's that? Okay.
Welcome to Tokyo. He's going to a capsule.
Yeah. So it's basically, there are some capsule hotels who does have co-ed common areas,
Right.
but still, if it comes down to sleeping, it's better. I guess it's also the traditional side as well. You don't really want. It's not like one of those youth hostels or anything. You just don't really want the men and lady at the same floor.
Yeah.
Even for men as well.
Well, this was never the intention of a capsule hotel, so it would be disingenuous, I guess, in a way, to have co-ed capsules or couples staying there. That's what a hotel is for. Or a love hotel, which some people might be chiming in on the chats right now. The city of Tokyo a couple of years ago encouraged people to stay at love hotels because there's an overcrowding or lack of accommodations in the city. And after 10 p.m., most of the love hotels turn into kind of normal hotels. The only catch is that once you go in, you can't go out. It's like a roach motel. You can't just, once you check in, you're there for the night. If you leave, you got to pay again. So that's why you bring the food with you and everything with you. But capsule hotels, you can't bring anything from the outside. That sort of surprised me a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It sort of surprised me. So for families, I would say get a traditional hotel.
Get a traditional hotel. And you have to be, to stay in one of those capsules, you have to, most places you have to be over the age of 16.
Yeah, there's most places have an age limit. Basically, it's because, I know why I'm saying this, the content on some of the TVs might not be the best. I've noticed that some of the capsules, it's not just because, a 15-year-old could be more mature than a 20-year-old, actually. But I've noticed that some of the content on the TV could sometimes take a turn towards the end of the alphabet. Now you got it. He's counting his head. A, B, C, D, X. Okay. Next question, please. But yeah, I've seen this. There is some mature content, but it does seem like the last place. And I want to compare this. If you take a look at the first capsule hotel video that we did and the last one that we did, the last one that we did in Okachimachi seemed to be more like a manga cafe in a way, like a fusion between a capsule and a manga cafe. What was the difference between those two capsule hotels? The first one that we showed you here in Shinjuku, and the second one in Okachimachi.
This one down here was only capsule hotel. The other one in Okachimachi was so diverse.
Yeah.
It had a normal capsule hotel, capsules. It had internet cafe, and it had this floor where I was just lying down and reading manga, and I can stay there for all night. I don't know what the heck that was.
That was it. You know what? That was, to me, it just blew me away. Like, you could just take a mattress, and they have mattresses spread all around. Just put it on the floor anywhere. Basically, maybe not the restaurant, but you can put it on the floor anywhere and just chillax until morning there. And that was under $30 a night for that.
That was pretty cheap.
That was pretty cool. Of course, it's going to be a little bit loud. You might want earplugs, but in that kind of a situation, this is why when I talked to the manager of Spa Resort president, he told me that he wants to kind of gear this towards backpackers because he could see a couple of backpackers just crash on the floor, read manga, and and in the morning they leave. Or one of the questions that I consistently saw in the last video was, can you stay there for consecutive nights? And the answer is yes. You just have to notify them by 10 a.m. that you want to stay for another night. And if you have a net booth, just tell them that you want to stay before 10 a.m. and you can get the same net booth. And I think you can get the same capsule, which is something that they didn't do like 5-10 years ago, but they do it now.
Right. The one right now, the traditional ones, they just kick you out every morning, right?
Yeah, they kick you out. I think Kuyakushomae will kick you out.
Yeah, they will kick you out. I did get kicked out 3 times, I think.
Yeah, you get kicked out, kicked to the curb.
I think around 7 a.m. they have a huge alarm going on, like, and you get kicked out or something.
Oh, they don't play music? Sometimes they have birds chirping in the background, or wake up. They do that at youth hostels as well. Can you leave your luggage there? Yeah. I think the last place he told me that he had a place to leave luggage.
Yeah.
A room in the back.
Right.
Kuyakushomae Capsule Hotel here in Shinjuku had a huge luggage rack. In fact, the whole lobby was a luggage rack. They had them behind, and these are separated, so you can't really just run away with them. I don't see any thefts going on. But traditionally, capsule hotels were not tourist attractions. You didn't come with a lot of luggage, like big suitcase on wheels. That's still kind of weird for the older capsule hotels, but these days they kind of made space for it. What do you think? Did you see it at?
I actually did, but and they also have safety boxes like other hotels as well.
Right, for wallets and things like
wallets
this.
Like that,
yeah,
because you really can't be sure all the time. And this one, the Kuyakushomae Hotel, did have a little space on the back. But I think that used to be an office,
right,
for the workers.
Right.
And I think a lot of them will be increasing for a little more space for the luggages because a lot of tourists are becoming huge luggages as well.
Yeah. They're coming with bigger and bigger luggages as well. Some of the things that I think that were really interesting was that I'm seeing more and more of the capsule hotels in Tokyo catering to tourists, but not many of them are catering to tourists out in the countryside. If you go to Niigata or Aomori to the in front of the station, the capsule hotels are still very much geared towards the Japanese businessmen, mostly coming from Tokyo, who just want that crash place.
Yes.
Right, and they're already crowded with the businessmen. They don't need the foreign tourists. Foreign tourists create a different kind of a problem, I think, for the Japanese. What are some of the difficulties that you think that the Japanese have with so many tourists coming to Capsule Hotel? I'm just saying because I think that I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I think that there's a lot of rules that apply to that apply to capsules, but not hotels.
Right.
It's a community.
Yes. I think one of the biggest one is like in the video 3 years ago and the one video right this excuse me.
Hold on to that.
Okay.
That's a
This
lot of pause.
this time. Okay. We got a little problem. Okay. But I think it's basically the baths are public baths. So as all the onsens, all these hot springs in Japan, the towel problem.
Right.
People sometimes tourists do not know that you can't wrap the towel around your waist or something, and you can't really dip the water into the water. And that does cause some little problems with the Japanese tourists as well, or Japanese business.
You gotta be naked.
You gotta be naked, and you can't dip the towel, even if how clean it is.
Oh, right.
Right, because of the hygiene problem.
The hygiene problem. But I got people asking me this, Shingo. They said, look, you're just rinsing off your body, and are you really? Is the human body really that clean to where, like, you're sitting in like a fetid, what's the word? Like just this tepid pool of water. Well, it's not tepid. It's actually quite warm, everybody. It's not. It's usually like 42 degrees or something, 42 to 45. Yeah, about 40 or 44. So it's not really that clean, is it? I mean, I'm just being honest. I made videos about this. Of course, look, you rinse your body off, and then after you get to the bath, this is why I soap off, and this is why we also shampooed after, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is in the video as well. You can see us cleaning up before dinner.
Yep. It's more the mental mental health as well. It feels.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's basically if you rinse your body with water, we assume you're clean, whether it's not actually clean or not.
If you are, though, seriously dirty and have just been hiking, it might be polite to do a pre-wash. Like just to, wash the cracks, let it, clean it out a little bit. I'm being serious because I personally can tell when someone is just filthy and came from a hike.
Yep.
I think in Japan, you're always thinking about the other person, though. This is something that maybe we could do more in, like, this is why the Japanese at the World Cup were cleaning the stadium, right?
Yep.
After the games, you see them clean the stadium because they're always thinking about the person next to them or the next guy. That's why the public toilets in Japan are clean because they're thinking about the next user. And it goes the same with baths. If you're completely filthy, you think about the other people in the bath and you wash off maybe a little bit more than you. At least I do. I don't know. It's nice to see Nosh abroad, the moderator. Nosh is in Japan, I believe, so hopefully I can meet up with him sometime. But yeah, I definitely, that's a consideration, I think. Yeah. Is there anything else? Maybe noise or
noise? Well, it's pretty much the same with everybody around the world. We snore.
Yeah.
We make noises when we're drunk. We kind of, talk so loud.
Yeah.
So, okay, some people might think tourists are more noisy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, everybody's noisy. So
yeah.
But
there's no way around it.
But sometimes they stand out because they don't really look like us sometimes. So it's.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest complaints that I had at the last one was that when people did come in groups, like 2 or 3, when they went to the capsules, which is a strict no talking place, and just as a note, we could talk because we had the capsule hotel to ourselves. It was they were renovating the capsule hotel that we filmed in, so we could speak. People would speak to their friends as though they were in the lobby of the hallway of a normal hotel, when actually it's quite loud when you're talking, and if the curtains are closed, there's almost always somebody in there sleeping at all times of the day. So you have to be very quiet and considerate of the person next to you. And this is one of the biggest complaints that Japanese businessmen have of foreign tourists is they're loud. Why do they gotta talk with their buddies? You know, just talk outside in the lounge, and when you get up there, just stop talking. This is one of the complaints, right?
That does remind me of something.
What?
The mobile phones. We have a very, very strict norm on mobile phones. We don't
Right,
really want
smartphones,
smartphones. We
yeah.
don't really talk them. Not even in the trains. We don't really talk. Especially in the capsule hotels. If you have people talking on the phone inside the capsule hotel area, it's like, then that is going to cause a problem.
Cause some problem. You're being kind. It's gonna start a riot. But it does cause problems. Same as on the train. My phone is almost 95% on silent mode.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even want to feel the vibrations. Feel the vibration. Dun, dun, dun. So honestly, it's on silent mode, and then I'll call people back. I just don't want to take any phone calls. If I'm in a meeting, if I'm on the train, if I'm talking with somebody else, I don't want the phone to vibrate. And it's no message is that important that I have to answer it. Only if there's a real emergency, like my wife is sick or something, then I would pick up the phone. But even then, just in Japan, you don't want ringtones. When you hear a ringtone on a Japanese train, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody over the age of 85 who probably has their first smartphone, or it's a foreign tourist. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You just have to learn that we have different manners here. Thus the word manner mode. Same. What about tattoos?
Tattoos.
Do you have any tats, by the way?
What?
You gonna show us?
That's right. No. Never mind. No. Okay.
We've already seen there because you were in the bath, dude. Yeah, we've seen the bits and pieces. No, we didn't see all that.
Okay. For some of the public bath, some of the capsule hotels, they do not allow tattoos because it has different meanings, and culturally it has been banned for some of the public baths, like in Onsen as well. But I think the last one was they allowed tattoos.
They kind of did. And you know what? It was really funny because the flyers that they have on there says tattoo is strictly prohibited. Okay. And yet at the same time, when I asked them, can you use tattoos? They're like, it's not a problem. Really? But they said, just don't tell anybody about it. Nobody's really going to bother you. It's quite obvious a difference between a gangster. I don't want to say the word here because of the Y, ends with an A. You can tell the difference between a gangster and a foreign tourist most of the time. Although some of the foreign tourists kind of look a little like they do a little bit like that. You're very welcome for the video, Limes for all. Yeah. So I mean, we know that you're not a gangster, so they're kind of letting it slide more and more.
Right. Another reason is that some people are very phobic about when you have a tattoo, the blood might cause some problems of other diseases.
Like a fresh tattoo.
Also, not always a fresh tattoo. We do have a phobia that all tattoos might have a little problem with the disease.
Like what kind of tattoo artist is it? Like prison tats, you know, like where they're pounding it, you know, with a stick. Yeah, I guess the thing is, there's just not a lot of misunderstanding about tattoos in general here in Japan because people generally, haven't been getting tattoos, but the younger generation is. A lot of people are traveling abroad here in Japan. They're seeing that the international kids, the younger people, are having tattoos, so they do it too. So they come back to Japan and they got tattoos, and now I think it's going to be a generation before it's widely acceptable. But I'll tell you what, 99% of the sento here in Tokyo are tattoo friendly, everybody. That means 99% of the public baths here, I did a video on this in January, 99% of the public baths, the sento, are tattoo friendly. They've almost always been like that, and they're frequented by those gangsters. So you might meet one or two of them, but it's not a problem at all because people are there literally for a bath. Hadaka no tsukiai. You're all equal when you're naked, despite tattoos. So you don't have to worry too much about that in the city of Tokyo. Onsen, or resorts, are a little bit different. You have people that are a little bit more sensitive, and gradually they're opening up. If you're not sure about it, call ahead. Call ahead and ask them, we have tattoos. Or you know what? Don't tell them at all. If it's something that you can hide or wear a patch, they have seals that you can have. If you have a small tattoo, you can buy a patch and wear that, and then you don't have a problem with any people being sensitive. The reason why that they're still kind of hesitant is because what you said earlier, they have people who frequent the place often, and if they get freaked out, by somebody with a tattoo, they're going to stop coming, and they're the main reason for the business. It's a business decision, basically. And if they allow people with tattoos, then the gangsters are going to say, well, why can't we go?
True.
Right? We got tattoos. Why are they okay and we're not? And then that's going to open up other problems. You have to be fair, right? You got to be fair. All right. So I want to do one more thing before we go, and then open it up to some general questions. What's inside of a capsule here? So let's start with the first one here. So I'm going to go over this, and then if I miss something, Shingo, just let me know. This is the capsule of the first place. This is the Kuyakushomae Capsule Hotel. This is an old 1980s type. It's got this plastic capsule-like pod. It opens up in the front, so it's more like a coffin and very... Well, what are you laughing about? It is. We walked through there, and I was like, Dracula would love this place. This up here is not a camera. It is a smoke detector. And a sprinkler.
That's a sprinkler.
If there is a fire in there, you're going to be fine because the sprinkler will go off and that actually will save your life. And it's also...
no smoking. No smoking.
Yeah, no smoking. You can see here in the panel, it's a radio, alarm clock. It's got one consento or electrical outlet.
Yep.
It's a light, a TV, and the remote control is all here in the panel. The Wi-Fi went into the capsule, which I thought was very convenient. It was comfortable.
Really?
Well, I thought it was okay. I'm used to it. I usually will put my head inside of the capsule because it's the quietest place. Can you put your head the other way?
I've done that a few times.
You've done that before.
It's more because it kind of gets really hot down here, and so I kind of open the door halfway, and just sleep on this side.
Yeah.
So the breeze will come in. The air conditioning inside wasn't so good when I was there. Not this one, but another Capsule Hotel.
Okay.
So yeah, you can do it on.
You can do it either way. Either way. If you're too tall, I've seen that people. When I was filming this, I saw some people from Scandinavia. I think they're from Norway. They had their feet sticking out, and they closed the curtain right up to the feet. It was pretty funny to see two pairs of feet and the curtain closed. You can close the curtain at different levels. So if you want more air, you can just close it 30%. There's little latches that catch on, so you don't have to completely close it all the way. I thought that was pretty neat. Let's turn it around. Let's show the other capsule. This is an example of the one in the latest video. Definitely check it out. This is completely different, and I like this one because it opened up on the side. It didn't give you that feeling of being like closed in. It was more like a bunk bed. This bed was could accommodate someone who was 6'11", at 210 centimeters long. I like the TV and the fact that you could put it away instead of it jutting out like this. So it felt like it had more room because you could move the TV to the side. Now this one has been remodeled. I love the wood paneling on it. The mattress was comfortable, and this thing here. What? Do a lot of the Capsule Hotels have this armrest?
I have never seen this done.
Yeah,
Never.
I'd never seen that either. It was pretty cool.
Really nice armrest. You can just relax with your shoulders on the back, your back on the back, and you can just continue reading your books or anything.
Right.
And you fall asleep, you just gotta slide down.
This chair, this chair thing was the things that I loved the most about Spa Resort President. This something so simple like this rest here where you could just use your laptop and you can put your arms up there. It made it so easy. Close the curtain and you have privacy. It's just like you're on first class in an airplane for real.
Very, very similar to first class.
Yeah, I thought so too. I could get a very good night's sleep in this. If somebody does snore, it's not going to be as loud as being in the lounge chair area, but I always wear earplugs in any capsule because in the middle of the night, some dude... This is what happens, okay? I got a wonderful night's sleep until about 2 a.m. when somebody drunk who was out at the bars decides that they want to crash at a capsule just until morning, the first train. And then they snore like crazy and they wake me up in the middle of the night. That's why I put the earplugs, even if it's quiet, somebody's going to come in the middle of the night or someone's going to break wind or cut the cheese or something's going to happen that wakes me up or someone's going to talk. So I always wear the earplugs anyways.
Well, you can buy the earplugs at any convenience store
around here.
Yeah.
Actually, we're right in front of a Family Mart right now. You can get the earplugs and toothbrushes and everything, all the amenities here. So shampoo, but that's included in most of the Capsule Hotels, in the sauna and the spa. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Right. Oh yeah, there's something that has never been disclosed in other episodes, I guess.
Okay.
One of the Capsule Hotels. Do you know why there are still Capsule Hotels in the countryside?
No, why?
Because about 5 or 10 years ago, when a businessman goes on a business trip, you pretty much get around 6,000, let's say $60 for each trip for accommodations. So, but if you stay at a 3,000, 4,000 yen capsule hotel instead of a 6,000 yen hotel, you get the difference.
Pocket the difference.
Yep.
Little bit of corruption. Shout out to Dario Hall. Thank you very much for that. So yeah, a lot of businessmen get expense accounts. This is another reason why capsule hotels are also becoming are less frequented by guests, because they're getting larger budgets for accommodations. So if you want to pocket like 3,000 yen, you could stay at a capsule hotel and then keep the rest. It's up to you how comfortable you want to stay. Personally, I like to stay in a nicer hotel. I don't know. The older I get, the better the hotel. Yeah, 5 stars is fine, you know, but I can never convince the company to put me up in such a nice hotel. So maybe you can pay the difference, but they'll give you about 5,000-6,000 yen. A business hotel. All right, let's go. Before we end this, I want to give you the list. On a scale of 1 to 10 on prices in Tokyo of hotels and places to stay, a capsule hotel is 10 being the Ritz-Carlton's most expensive room, which is $20,000 a night. 1 being Manga Cafe, which is like $10 a night.
Yeah.
What is a capsule hotel?
3 or 4, I guess.
3 or 4. 4 for the new ones, like 9 hours or first cabin. 3 for President Resort. 2 for
the one I stayed in.
The one you stayed in for $15. Like the quality will range different widely. The older ones you might find cockroaches, or you might find it not being as clean.
You might see people staying there for ages, 1 month, 2 months residence.
That's another question people have had. Are there people who live in these capsule hotels?
They actually do. Some of the old ones.
Wow.
Yes. They even have their own lockers. They even have their own slippers.
Wow.
And they also have their keys or something.
They have keys. I gotta be honest with you, $30. So if you get, people have been telling me a little bit about the price of the spa resort president. You can get it at 30% off at booking.com, okay? Yeah, the capsule that they list is 3,500 yen or $35, was under $30 on booking.com, and Agoda.com was even cheaper.
Really?
So if you search around, you'll find lots of deals. Yeah. Now, when you consider that's the price per day, it is cheaper than an apartment in the same area, because these capsule hotels are located right in the middle of everything. You walk outside, you are in the center of Tokyo. This year's Kabukicho. If you're paying $30 a night to live here, this is pretty much, all right, you're not only saving on travel costs, because everything's right here. Maybe you work down the street.
Right.
A comparable apartment would be, really expensive. So you're paying less than $1,000, like $800 a month to live in the center of the city. That's kind of crazy.
That's kind of crazy. So the choice is...
You never thought about it like that?
No, not really. Not really.
Oh, okay.
So a choice of staying somewhere after you're drunk, you miss your train, is either capsule hotel, internet cafe, and karaoke. Yeah,
this is another one that we might do in the future. You can spend the night, believe it or not, at a karaoke box. This one is called Shidaksa. It's quite a large one.
And there's another one right beside.
Oh, there's another one. Yeah. Oh, right. You can see the sign right now. You see that? That one right next to it, Kara. You see it, Kara, next to the 7-Eleven. These you could rent a box, a karaoke box, and sleep in there.
Yep.
Or you could sing. I prefer to sleep. Done this a couple of times, not that much. How much is a karaoke box for the night?
For the night, it's varies from 1,000 yen to 2,000, around 2,000 yen.
That's cheap.
That is cheap. But you're gonna hear all these people singing around. Well,
earplugs. You bring earplugs. You get room service.
You do.
You get room service at the karaoke boxes.
Yeah, you can order pizza.
You can order pizza and beer, and they deliver it to your karaoke box. So you don't have to sing. You can just hang out there. Lots of people do sleep in the karaoke boxes. I once got stuck. I missed the last train in Shinagawa. I took the Yamanote line the wrong way around, and it stopped at Shinagawa, and I couldn't get home. And I went to the police box, the Kobana, and said, I'm stuck here. I don't want to walk home. What can I do? And they told me to go sleep at the karaoke box. The police told me to do that.
Really? Okay.
Or go to a manga or internet cafe.
Manga cafe.
Yeah. So I ended up just walking home anyways. It took me 3 hours, and if I just stayed there, I could have taken the first train in the morning because I arrived when the first train started. So
That's around 5 a.m., right?
it was a long walk.
Yeah.
It was a long walk. But you have that option. Nowadays, though, if you do miss the last train, there's a bike sharing option, in Tokyo. You have to register for it, but it's 30 minutes for free. And if you miss the last train, you could just hop on one of these bike share bikes for 24 hours and ride to your hotel as well. Or get in a taxi, which is a little bit pricier. There's lots of options in the city of Tokyo, but it's nice to know that Capsule Hotels is one of them.
True.
It's not for everybody. I'm talking to you, the ladies, but the ladies do have their own capsules, right?
Yes, they do.
All right. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask Shingo and I. We will answer it as professionals of the capsule industry with a combined 100 stays between us. What do you got here? How about a Manga Cafe? We made a video on this. Check it out. I'll put it right here. Night at a Manga Cafe. What do you got in there? It's called Manboo. Manboo. And there's one right there.
There's also one. Okay.
Again, like they're all located in the entertainment district. This one is open 24 hours. They got internet, booths. You could stay there. It's relatively cheap. That's a chain that I featured like 4 years ago.
Oh my gosh,
I know, it's been a long time.
probably hasn't changed much.
How tall can you be before capsules get small? The one we introduced was 110 centimeters or 6'11". But I'd say in general, if you're over 6 feet, it's gonna be tight. If you sleep diagonally, you can get by with 6 feet, 6'1". Most beds in Japan before 2000 are 200 centimeters or less. The ones before 1990 are 185 centimeters. I've noticed some were just as tall as I was. I'm like, what? Nowadays, though, the beds are going up to this size, which is 210 centimeters, and it's quite comfortable. That was a good question. What about services like dogs and pets? Do capsule hotels allow them? That's not the purpose of the capsule hotel. You're thinking of a hotel. Capsule hotels are literally places to crash. They don't have accommodations for like if you have physical disabilities. Unless like if you are missing an arm or a hand or something, it wouldn't matter. It's like if you're in a wheelchair or you need some kind of special attention, you're not going to be able to get that at a capsule hotel. This is like less than a 1-star ranking, maybe 1 star. So it's not exactly you're not exactly going to get services. Dario, I saw one come in, buddy, but I didn't see the second one. See here. Dario says ex-tattoo artist for 5 years.
Ooh, wow.
So I'm not sure.
Okay, nice.
I'm guessing you're talking about that, Dario. Yeah, tattoos are more and more being accepted here, but I think it's something you should call ahead or just don't tell them. I don't know. Cover it up.
Get a patch.
Get a patch. If you're wearing a yukata, I don't see. Taking a shower or bath might be a problem. Just do it quickly, be conspicuous, but don't. People have been kicked out of capsule hotels if you're not honest as well. So I don't know, as long as they don't know about it, you're not gonna have any problems. But Japanese are pretty good at reporting stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like old ladies are the best line of defense for Japan, which is why they have alcohol beverage machines, the alcohol vending machines. The grandmothers will report it if they see a kid drink. See yourself because there's no mirror there. All right. I'm just saying. Can you get 2 capsules if you're taller than 6 feet? What does it even mean? Mr. Gupta, Mr. Gupta, I don't know how you combine the two, but you can get 2 capsules.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you put your feet in there unless you actually detach your lower half, which would be pretty creepy. Ariel writes in, spent a few days at 9 Hours Capsule Hotel in Kyoto last week. Not bad. Just felt a bit disheveled. Yeah, it's hard to get if you're not used to the capsule life, it's hard to get a full night's sleep and feel as refreshed as if you'd stayed in a hotel. I think if you're interested in trying a capsule hotel, it's a really interesting thing to do for one night. You got to be pretty crazy or used to this kind of accommodation if you're going to stay there for continuous nights. Like if you've been in the army and you're used to living in a barracks, I think that a capsule hotel is just going to be fine for you. It'll take you back to those days when you were trapped with all the other soldiers. Yeah, it's sort of like the same thing there. The President's Spa Resort gave me the feeling like, yeah, you're with a bunch of guys. And when Shunta, who was the other guy with me, when he said like, otoko no naka otoko. Like
Man.
it's a place for men's. I don't know if I don't know if I should have cut that out, but I left it in there.
Okay.
It kind of means like this is a place for guys who are just guys, you know. Yeah, like manly dudes sit there, and to me, I don't know if he misspoke, but I kind of got the idea that this is a place that's sort of like being in the army. It's just a bunch of guys that are just staying and crashing for the night, and there's a community to that. It's very safe. The safety of being in the Capsule Hotels. Again, it's like no one's gonna accost you when there's other people around. A Capsule Hotel, there's somebody next to you. If you scream, the entire place is gonna wake up, okay? And there's security cameras.
Oh yeah. Was there security cameras in the other Capsule Hotel as well?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's acting like he's surprised. You knew that. You knew that. Didn't you know that?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. You didn't see it. That's why they're really good at it. Nita writes in, Tuotaka writes in, treat Shingo to a late lunch, early dinner. All right, buddy. I got your tea already, though. That doesn't count. All right, okay. We'll take care of Shingo. Thanks for that. By the way, I got all the packages that you've sent here. I gave my address to people on Patreon, and we got a bunch of packages. These were sent to Shingo's office. I know you had to carry this all the way back. Yeah, so thank you for that. We're gonna do an unboxing at my apartment in another day, but yeah, we got a lot of stuff. Some of them sent from Amazon, so thank you very much, everybody. Yeah, don't show where it's from. I don't want anybody to get their address out, but people have been asking for my address, so I released it on Patreon, and thank you guys. We're gonna unbox that. Nita, I want to thank you also for sending something to Gretchen. She got the Okapi, and I'm gonna send you a picture of that. She's really thrilled with that. If Gretchen's watching in Arizona. Yeah, Nita's here, so you want to say thank you. So thank you so much. See here, anybody else have any questions? I want to, hopefully people go to Japan with the mindset that it's very different from Western countries. Yeah, Japan does things the Japanese way, and that's sort of the attraction. If they did it the Western way, Capsule Hotels would never exist. Same. Where guys can be guys. Yeah, that's right, Jim. Where guys can be guys, and it's because there's only guys there, so you can only. What about transgender? This is such a complicated issue. This isn't an issue here in Japan.
No, not really.
This is an issue that they have in other countries, in the United States mainly, what to do with it. We just don't have an issue with this. It's not, and I don't know why. It's not something.
You see a lot of transgender people on TV.
You see them a lot on TV. And they're, accepted in that way. I've never heard anything bad about transgender people here. I guess, if a transgender person, again, like people are thinking about other people, right? So if they're comfortable staying in a Capsule Hotel, maybe they're gonna stay there. But if they've started the process to be a woman, or I don't know if you can go the other way around, but I don't know too much about it. But it just depends on your comfort level, and you can ask at the Capsule Hotel what they think. Most of the people are gonna be like, whatever,
unless you're looking into people really close or something, if you're not acting weird, you probably don't have any problems.
Yeah, if you're not acting weird, then you're probably better than the other 10% of the people who are acting weird who might be staying in there.
Drinkers.
Yeah, the heavy drinkers. I'll be staying in a Capsule Hotel when I visit Tokyo in 2 months. This is from Jojo. And Ebbets allows guests with tattoos to stay in hotels and facilities. Always good message. Yeah, exactly. Jojo, thanks for this. It's always a good idea to give them a call in advance. I left a link in the description to Spa Resort President, as well as Kuyakushomae Capsule Hotel. Give them a call if you have any questions, and they'll be happy to help you. They have a limited amount of English. Speak slowly and clearly, and just mention the key words. And there should be tattoos, okay? Keep it simple.
Tattoo. Okay.
You're speaking from that guy from Fantasy Island. The plane, boss, the plane. So this might be above some people's the other generation. It's past 2 p.m. here. Okay, I see you guys are talking about the time. We're gonna stop this live stream. Okay. Shingo, thanks for your time.
Oh yeah, remember some of the Capsule Hotels are serving toast now. They're actually serving hard-boiled eggs now.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Oh yeah, in the morning. Well, about for 20 people limited or something. The
okay.
Are getting really good. Actually.
So there's more amenities.
Oh yeah.
So Ransu Dragon mentions about people with disabilities. We talked about this. Go back and the replay, see the replay. But if you have a disability, it just depends on that. But there's not really much done to accommodate people with wheelchairs, for
Right.
example. And if you have special needs, I mean, if it's different, there's no real service or support for that.
Yeah.
These are literally places where you're supposed to crash. They're inexpensive hotels, so you can't expect too much for your money because you're not paying much.
They don't really have a lot of no escalators, they do
Yeah.
have elevators, but they have a lot of stairs as well, so that might be a problem.
Yeah, you know what? I would say probably better to stay at an established hotel. It's more comfortable. You're gonna be uncomfortable, and you know what? If you have a friend who can help you with some of the difficulties, maybe carry you, just like when you get on an airplane, it's always kind of a pain in the neck. My mother couldn't walk very well when she came to the wedding. She had to be wheelchaired onto, because she had a stroke last year. She had to be wheelchaired onto the airplane, and I think she had to be carried into the seat. So it was kind of difficult. She would not be a candidate for Capsule Hotels, and she would not want to stay in one. I think I might have offered once, and she just laughed and said, "Put me up in the Sheraton." Okay. And by the way, the Sheraton at Tokyo Disneyland is really good. I like that. So
Really?
yeah, my mom's from India. Yeah, she's from born in Mumbai. All right, yeah. Once again, these capsule hotels are a community. People respect the people around you. That's why they work. I don't think that this could work in the United States.
Why not?
I don't know why not. Why don't you leave in the comments, why do you think that this might not work in your country? Yeah, and let us know. Do you have any final thoughts, Shingo?
Whenever you come to Japan, it's a great place to take a look. And if you have a chance, capsule hotels are quite unique in a lot of ways. But even if you cannot stay, there are 2 videos out there.
Yeah,
shows-
three.
Oh, three, sorry.
Manga Kisa.
right.
The Manga Cafe one,
The
too.
Manga Cafe, the Capsule Hotel in Kuyakushomae, and the President. Those are pretty much what most of the capsule hotels you're going to find in Tokyo.
Right.
And they are quite deep
Deep.
in
Yeah.
history.
One of the things I like to do with the series, the Only Japan series, is that we take you to places that other people won't. One of the reasons I have not done 9 hours and I have not done First Cabin is because personally I don't consider them to be capsule hotels. They don't have the same kind of authenticity or history behind it. These places are just new tourist attractions. They're really clean, they're nice. They're more like hotels. And I don't see the story in them. And you know what? To be honest with you, 100 other YouTubers have already done it like crazy. But nobody has done the authentic old style capsule hotels, and that's why I think it's unique to go back and show it. So take a look back at the video that we just posted a couple of days ago to give you a better idea of what it's like inside of those capsules. And go back, if you're joining us now, look at that replay and then see what we've done. And one other thing I want to leave you with is thank you for watching. And don't forget to watch the Capsule Hotel video and subscribe, because we absolutely need your support. The main channel is coming close to 1 million subscribers this year. We're gonna do it, and the live streaming one is at 100,000. So we need your support. So click that subscribe button and the like button if you like this kind of content. Thank you, Shingo.
Thank you.
I want to promote his channel. He does.
Let's play Japan.
Say it again.
Let's play Japan. It's
3 words.
Let's play Japan.
Yeah. What have you done lately on your channel?
Oh gosh, we actually did live streaming for 2 hours. I was blabbering, and everybody else was blabbering. It's a gaming channel, but we really suck at the gaming, so we just talk rubbish all the time.
You're really selling it.
We are selling. That's our sales point.
And you're getting close to 100,000 subscribers as well on the channel.
It's all of them are coming up. Yep.
Yeah, their subscribers are going up real good, and they're doing some nice stuff over there. And I support what Shingo does because he's a nice guy, and to be honest with you, you give the channel a point of view that I can't do because you are you're Japanese.
Japanese.
You're Japanese. I'm not
Oh,
Japanese.
Japanese.
I don't know. It's a Japanese. That's Italian. No,
Si,
sorry.
so Japanese.
Yeah. So yeah.
Give me a question.
Oh, we just got a question in here. Up here. Difficult finding disabled hotels, parts of Japan. Maybe this is something we touch on in another one. This is Ransu, Doragon. You know, there are some, I think if you do a Google search, TripAdvisor has a list of the top 10 or 20 hotels that are recommended for people with disabilities. But I know that all of the hotels that, like chain hotels, international standards, can handle people with disabilities. That means like the Intercontinental, the Sheraton, the Hyatt, the Hilton. They're a couple $100 a night, but if you're gonna be, look, I wanna point this to you, quite plainly, if you're gonna spend like $1,000 or $2,000 for a plane trip to come to Tokyo, the hotel is just a fraction of that cost. I don't know. It's really a tough situation. Cheap hotels are not going to be able to accommodate you because they don't accommodate people with disabilities in Japanese people.
Yeah.
So it's going to be twice as hard to accommodate people with this. So I think save up a little bit more and stay in a nice hotel. I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't stay in capsule hotels if I can avoid it. It's usually if I miss the last train. I'm not going to say, whoa, it's a capsule hotel. I want to stay there. Do you ever stay there because it's a capsule hotel?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not really.
You stay there because you have to, right?
That I have to.
We're forced to because of circumstances, and tourists are staying there because they want to. We're staying there because we have to. It's a difference. And the capsule hotels owners know we're staying there because we kind of have to. One more thing before I leave. There's always one more thing.
Okay.
We talked about the history of the capsule hotel. The fact that these things were established in the 70s because people work really hard. Are you a Japanese salaryman? I always see you as just Shingo, but I don't see you as like a salary guy.
Technically, I am a salaryman. All right.
But in Japan now, they don't work
They don't work. No.
the same as they used to.
No. After the earthquake, actually, people are working less, and a lot of people are. We are changing the business. I don't know, the environment so that people aren't working too hard. So
Right.
a lot of the trains around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. are getting more crowded.
I noticed that on
Because
Wednesdays and Fridays,
Wednesday,
especially.
Fridays, yeah. And we also on Fridays, some companies get off work around 4 or 5 or even 3.
Right.
So it is getting the environment is changing a lot.
More bosses are being more sympathetic to their workers and their families, and not making them go to drinking parties.
And especially the young generation.
The younger generation.
They don't want to drink with their bosses.
They don't want to drink with their bosses, and they're just saying, you know what?
Yep.
Forget the career. I can always go work at Family Mart if it doesn't work out. I'm telling you, yeah. People are dropping out that way. They don't want the stress so much. The work environment's changing, and this is another reason why a lot of the caps hotels are trying to appeal to foreign tourists. It's because the working man or the salary man and the salary woman are not needing these places as much as they used to. They are having the time to go home and get a proper night of sleep. And it's only like hardcore old Japanese companies that are working their workers to the bone, like Dentsu could be an example. You know, we don't have to name names, but there was a woman who died from overwork. I'm just like recently in the news. I'm just quoting the news here, Dentsu. It's not me. It's you. Can I say that?
That actually did change the worker environment as well.
That did. That brought she was a young freshman worker that was being worked like 80 to 90 hours a week. I don't even think there were 90 hours in a week. There's like 100, I believe. But she died from overwork, and that all of a sudden
it changed all the the atmosphere in Japan that overworking is not really healthy. It's of course not healthy, but
we knew that. We just needed something like this to be a catalyst.
Yeah. Which is sad. Which is really sad.
Very sad. Japan is a reactive society. When somebody flew a drone onto the roof of the prime minister, that's when drone laws came in, okay?
The emperor.
Oh, the emperor?
Yes.
I thought it was Prime Minister Abe's house.
And it was emperors.
Wow, that's even crazier.
That is.
So when something bad happens, that's when they enact laws to change it. When foreigners started to go on Halloween and making trouble on the Yamanote line, that's when laws started coming on, like you can't do this kind of stuff. And the police come and they crack down on this. So if somebody bad does something bad in society, it hurts us all. That's another thing. So if there's like a capsule hotel crime, it could change the laws.
Yeah.
Airbnb as well changed in June because of that. So
Right. Even the internet cafe.
Yeah.
You also have to have an ID now.
you have to have an ID now because people were
They were using it for crime.
using it for crime, to commit crimes or usually deceive old people out of their money or stuff like that.
Yeah, sending spams and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, you have to have an ID.
Yeah. All right, guys. I don't see any more capsule hotel questions, so I'm gonna thank you once again. What am I holding in my hand? I have this piece of paper that just. What Shingo's holding is, and this is an Amazon box that came from a viewer to me, and I'm gonna do a box opening, sometime in the next few days. Thank you for carrying this, by the way, my friend. I know it's so heavy. He brought it to me, and I'm holding this, which is just to say thank you and to subscribe, and don't forget to watch the Capsule Hotel, which is the the lap pillow. If I want to give that to Nosh abroad and get it signed, Peter. So Nosh, that lap pillow is yours, buddy. So please subscribe and give us some support, and we will see you in another video.
Yes.
I guess you might help me with the other one. The
what's that?
the that. Thanks for waiting on that. So, have a great day. Last 20 seconds. Checking the background of Kabukicho in the daytime, which is kind of boring. Yeah, don't melt, man. Have a great day, everybody. If you have some more contents, leave a comment below about Capsule Hotels and check out Let's Play Japan. See you, everybody.